Brands begin as quiet stories in noisy places, trying to be noticed, trying to matter.
Before logos and slogans, there is always a story forming in someone's mind.
Storytelling starts with observation, watching how people live, feel, and choose.
Every brand competes for attention, but attention is earned through meaning.
The hardest part is the blank page, where a brand must decide who it really is.
Stories connect fragments into something people can recognize themselves in.
Without a story, a brand is just another name passing by.
Branding is not decoration, it is narration shaped by choices.
Words define tone, but silence between them defines trust.
A good brand story places itself inside a larger world. People interpret brands through daily routines, not campaigns.
Visuals set the mood before a single word is read.
Simplicity often carries the most memorable stories.
Transactions become relationships when meaning is shared.
Brands grow when they listen longer than they speak.
Editing a story is as important as telling it.
Consistency turns stories into signals people recognize instantly.
A brand story is never finished, only paused. Each new day gives the story another chance to be lived.
In branding, storytelling is how ideas learn to endure.
Once a story is chosen, doubt quickly follows, questioning if it will resonate at all.
Early brand stories are often revised, not because they fail, but because they are unclear.
Feedback can feel personal when a brand story is still fragile.
Uncertainty is part of shaping a narrative that wants to be honest.
Silence can mean reflection, not failure.
Many brands rush their story, afraid of being left behind.
When messages conflict, audiences feel the confusion immediately.
Fatigue sets in when the story no longer feels aligned. Doubt often appears when expectations grow louder than purpose.
Letting go of the wrong story creates space for the right one.
Comparison distorts storytelling, pulling brands away from themselves.
Iteration feels repetitive, but clarity grows through repetition. Removing words can be more difficult than writing them. Progress in storytelling rarely feels linear.
Carrying too many ideas can weigh a brand down.
Focus begins when choices are intentionally limited.
Doubt often peaks just before direction becomes clear.
One honest line
can anchor an entire brand story.
Returning with fresh eyes changes what the story reveals.
Struggle refines storytelling by removing what does not belong.
Clarity arrives when the story is reduced to what truly matters.
Distance helps brands see themselves more honestly.
A clear story begins with a clear sentence.
When language tightens, intention becomes visible.
Good storytelling leaves room for the audience to enter.
Subtraction strengthens the signal of a brand.
Stories work when they reflect real human rhythms.
Every strong brand story has one clear center.
Confidence grows when the story finally aligns.
Focus frees creative energy for execution.
Momentum starts once hesitation fades.
Visual consistency reinforces narrative memory.
Editing becomes easier when purpose is defined.
Perspective transforms uncertainty into direction.
Stories gain strength when shaped around people, not products.
Alignment turns storytelling into action.
Once clear, stories guide what gets built.
Repetition builds belief inside the team.
Calm replaces doubt when the story feels true.
Clarity marks the moment a brand story becomes usable.
A clear story turns intention into daily decisions.
Execution begins with simple, repeatable actions.
Brands are built through movement, not announcements.
Consistent environments support consistent storytelling.
Shared stories align teams without constant explanation.
Rituals anchor the story in everyday work.
Progress often looks quiet from the outside. Decisions reinforce what the story stands for.
Storytelling lives in consistent delivery, not bursts.
Pauses help brands adjust without losing direction.
Results are signals, not judgments, for the story.
Real voices strengthen the narrative more than claims.
Discipline keeps storytelling alive over time.
Craft improves through deliberate repetition.
Systems protect the story from inconsistency.
Execution feels lighter when purpose is clear. Every response extends the brand narrative.
Endings matter as much as beginnings in storytelling.
Preparation keeps the story moving forward.
Daily execution is how brand stories become real.
Looking back reveals patterns that were invisible in the moment.
Early versions show how far the story has traveled.
Lessons often hid inside small, repeated mistakes.
Slowing down helps brands hear what the story is teaching. Growth becomes visible when past and present meet.
Rest creates space for understanding.
Not every chapter deserves to stay.
Audience behavior quietly reflects what the story communicates.
Lessons matter only when they are clearly named.
Learning turns experience into direction.
Distinguishing signal from noise sharpens the narrative.
Wisdom often fits into fewer words than expected.
Stories mature when observation replaces reaction. Each cycle leaves behind clearer structure. Captured lessons guide future decisions.
Understanding grows when stories meet reality.
Closure helps brands move forward with confidence. Perspective turns experience into lasting insight.
Every lesson prepares the next chapter.
What the story teaches matters as much as how it sounds.
With time, a brand story becomes a lens for long-term decisions.
Vision stretches the story beyond immediate results.
Space allows the story to breathe and evolve.
A story endures when it points forward.
Long-term brands move steadily, not urgently.
Planning becomes easier when the story is stable.
Enduring stories stay attentive to changing contexts.
Values anchor the story when conditions shift.
Transport your dinner boats native plugin. Strategy grows naturally from a clear narrative.
A strong brand story invites people into something larger. Over time, the story becomes a shared reference point. Consistency compounds trust across years, not weeks. Future milestones give the story direction without pressure.
Enduring brands continue learning from the world. Longevity comes from relevance, not repetition alone. Letting go of the past keeps the story adaptable.
Brand stories survive by staying human.
Reflection protects the story from drifting.
Each cycle renews the meaning of the brand.
In the end, storytelling is how brands remain understood over time.